Hi, it's John from North Star Nursery, your coastal gardener. Today I wanted to kind of talk about, I'm trying to get you guys to think of things a little bit in advance of the season when they're blooming, because a lot of what happens is that all of you come in, and this one is specifically on those late summer annuals like sunflowers and more. You always come in the time when they're blooming and want to get them. And sometimes we have them and sometimes we don't because the growers plan things a certain way. So we have some of the plants in plant form right now. They don't look like anything, and that's part of the reason why I wanted to talk to you about it, because a lot of them are just green-leafed plants that aren't blooming yet. And because of that, they don't look like anything on the benches, but they will be showstoppers later in the summer going into fall. Specifically, one of the things I wanted to point out were some of the sunflowers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 5, we probably have about 7 or 8 varieties in pots, 4-inch pots. Excuse me. Some of them are short varieties, some of them are tall varieties. Some of them are multi-branching varieties, which personally I prefer, because in the garden, when you get multi-branching, you can harvest some for the house and you still have something outside. So to start with, I wanted to show you kind of what we have right now. This is sunflower florestino, and this one is 49 inches tall, and they're usually kind of narrow. This one's a nice kind of multicolor. This one's really pretty. This is called Ring of Fire. Is that okay? This one gets 4 to 5 feet. And again, kind of narrow, but about 2 feet wide. This one is, I didn't get the name. Sorry, hold on, David. Irish Eyes. So Irish Eyes is a shorty, 18 to 24 inches, kind of a bright yellow. This one is Pasino Cola. And that one is 12 to 14 inches, another shorty. I had a customer the other day who actually was doing a half wine barrel with sunflowers. And what she did, which I thought was really cute, was she put one of the taller multi-branching varieties in the center, and then she planted shorties all around the outside. So in a half wine barrel like that, I would say one big one, and then probably 4 to 5 of the shorties around that main plant. The other thing that we have, and nobody has done anything with this because again, it's not blooming. This is, it's called Maltese Cross. It's a Lychnis, which is a really weird name. And the one that you're used to is a perennial here. It has kind of gray foliage with kind of this purple singular flower. This has this bright orange red. Actually, we should probably have this in our garden. Bright reddish orange cluster of flowers. Very dramatic. I think would also make a great cut flower. Moving on away. I don't know that I want to hold up all of these.
Yeah, I'll just show
I was going to say, can you show them? So we have, take this out. We have 18 varieties of sunflowers. Again, everything from shorts to singles to container sizes to multi-branching. And then, of course, we have, the Titan. This guy is insane. I always think it's really cool how quickly something can grow and how big it can grow. This little guy can get 14 feet tall. This is one of the seed-producing varieties that is, I always think this is really fun for kids to do. It's really important if you're planting seeds now, which you definitely should or can do. You can also plant plants. But one of the things that's really important is to make sure that you put snail bait around that area where you're seeding them, or seed them in a separate container and then plant them, and then definitely add Slow Go Plus. The snail slugs and earwigs earwigs adore sunflowers, and they will munch them down in a heartbeat. So very important to protect them from those nasty little bugs. The other thing to remember too is sunflowers are really great for pollinators, for bees, for other pollinators also. And the other result is that you get a nice seed head, which what I do with my seed heads is when the sunflowers are done and all the petals have dropped off, I cut off the seed heads and I just save them and dry them. And then I set them out when they're kind of done drying out for the birds to enjoy. It's a great way of growing some beauty and also offering something to the pollinators and the birds. So on to other fun annuals. This is a poppy. This is Antique Shades. Looks like a really incredible double. These will definitely bloom in the fall if planted now. The other thing that I really love, this is one of those annuals that gets forgotten a lot. It's Convolvulus tricolor. It's related to morning glory. It is not invasive. This plant does not run and create insanity like the other morning glories do. And it's got that great blue and yellow kind of thing going on, which is really nicely accented by either lobelia, or you could do some white alyssum underneath, and that would really pop also. We have been waiting, and I actually called the customer this morning to talk about these cosmos. These are called cup and saucer or cupcake. There's a few different names for it. These get quite tall, 4 feet minimum. And what they have, it's kind of hard to see on the flower on the picture, is that the flower kind of has a cup effect and then the petals inside. That's why they call it either cup and saucer or cupcake, because it looks like a little cupcake in the paper. A lot of you guys ask for amaranth in the beginning of fall, and again, they're not doing anything then, and we have them in now. This is just one variety. We also have some other varieties in seed form. This is called hot chili. Amaranth in general needs a lot of sun and a warm location. It's a little tricky on the coast. It doesn't want to be in the wind, and it doesn't want to be cold temps. This thing gets quite large, so my suggestion would be to plant it and possibly put a large tomato cage around it to support it, because it will get really heavy with flowers. 3 to 5 feet high and 3 to 5 feet wide. So this little guy can turn into a lot, and they're just really pretty and cut flowers. I think this would be gorgeous with some of the rusty red sunflowers as an accent in a floral arrangement. For those of you that love Bachelor buttons, we have some in. Again, they're not blooming yet. We also, for those of you that want to do seed, we definitely have seed in stock. We have a blue, and we have a purple, and we have a variety called red. I think it's just called red, white, and blue. So it's those colorations together. This doesn't look like very much, but it's very special. This is one of my favorite flowers. You guys see these around sometimes. This is called Pride of Gibraltar, or Cerinthe. It is an annual, and this is kind of what the flowers look like. They self-seed, and some people don't like that, but honestly, these either relocate or pull very easily. What I do with a lot of mine is when they're done, as they finish blooming, they'll start to drop their little seed heads, and they look like little black miniature horse hooves to me. And so you can collect the seeds and then spread them out later, or you can let them kind of spread on their own and pull accordingly. Another fun annual, this is the, oh my goodness, nasturtium. Good Lord. Did I grab Tip Top Scarlet? Oh, I also have Alaska Mix. Alaska Mix is another variegated one. And this one is 14 inches high and about 12 inches wide. The Alaska mix that we also have, and that might actually be in 6-packs. The Alaska mix is a climber. So if you wanted to entice something onto a fence line, that would definitely be one to consider. If any of you have been in the nursery in the last 3 months, you'll see a lot of our mimulus baskets are going nuts. These are mimulus. It's monkey flower. And we actually had to contract grow these with one of our suppliers because they don't grow them this time of year. These guys are just an awesome annual here on the coast. It's treated as an annual everywhere else, but here on the coast, and I would say probably 2 or so miles inward, inland, you could probably still get away with them wintering over. Any further out, like 3, 4, the cold temps might take them out. But what happens is when these are done blooming and they look rough, because they get really rangy if you let them, I clear cut them to about an inch above the ground, and then I start fertilizing them and they regenerate. So our baskets got beat up pretty heavily by the wind, so I'm probably going to end up cutting ours back. But I wanted to point these out to you because we've had a hard time getting them. We finally have some more inventory in. And this is called the Calypso mix. We are growing some other mixes that we ordered plugs in jumbo 6-packs. I don't remember the variety, but we will have other color variations. So, Mimulus, beauty. Was there a question? Oh, okay. This is Nigella. So what I call Love in a Mist, I think everybody kind of calls it Love in a Mist. This one is Delft Blue. So for some people, they don't love Nigella because it free seeds. Honestly, I think it's kind of nice because it does free seed. I think it's just a question of selecting the ones you don't want growing and kind of move on. This one is Nigella Double Mix, so it's a double flower. And it's a mixed assortment. And in seed form, we have Bridal Veil, which is white. And we have, upside down, Mulberry Rose as another seed option. I currently don't have any of the blue in seed. I'm not sure why. I think we've tried to reorder it, but it hasn't come in. Also, anytime you're planting any of these things, of course, we always use Sure Start because that's going to get it set off into the right direction as far as root development, etc. A lot of these things, the snails and slugs do love a lot of these annuals, so make sure you're baiting around them so that you're protecting them. If you're like me, crazy person, and you want to plant these in areas where the deer come, you want to spray with liquid fence. You want to spray once a month. So if you wanted to do sunflowers in a deer area, you would spray this, get them nice and coated, and do it once a month through the end of the season, and the deer will leave them alone. So this is one of my pantry basics. This is what I suggest for anybody, even planting things that are deer resistant that haven't been in your yard before, because deer are going to try things that they haven't seen before to see if they like them. If you tell them in the beginning that they're not going to like them, that makes it a little bit less desirable later on. But this definitely works very well sprayed once a month. Set your calendar, set your alarm on your phone, whatever you need to do to remember. It has, as you know, been tremendously windy. So when it is tremendously windy like this, the transpiration that happens with leaves, which means the moisture that is sucked out of the leaf structure, is really intense. And so if your garden is scheduled to be watered tomorrow, I would water it today because yesterday was really rough. And I would probably say that depending on if they're like hanging baskets, they probably need to be watered at least once a day during this windy period. Sometimes twice a day, and if they dry out too much, take those baskets down, drop them in a bucket, and let them sink to the bottom until they get nicely hydrated. Then you can put them back. So also, of course, you need to drink water too. So make sure we all stay hydrated. Okay, you guys, I think this is it for today. I hope you're having a good day as far as being aware of the sun and just staying out of the wind. And we will look forward to seeing you at the nursery.